Good afternoon, CFM. It's Coach Matt with our Friday workout. We're gonna do a low and slow. So this is all together, including the warm up on a 45-minute clock. We're gonna say 3, 2, 1, go, and then execute our very short warm up and then go right into our first 10 minutes of zone 2 cardio. And again, benefits of zone 2 cardio is improving your recovery from the other high intensity work through the increase in mitochondrial density that comes from lower intensity, longer duration cardiovascular activity. It's a chance to work on our breath work, so breath control using the nose breaths, which are universally better at delivering oxygen to the body as well as lowering your excitement state or your panic state. It's good for joint recovery, so we're doing a lot of active recovery. These are not super high intense workouts, so they give the body a chance to continue moving and sweating for the whole 45 minutes without imparting all of the higher impact joint loading that would come from, like, let's say if we're doing like heavy squat cleans for 45 minutes or like tons and tons of box jumps for 45 minutes. So there's not as much joint load, there's not as much of the adrenal load, so we're not at that like peak physical demand. These are fantastic interim workouts, so they're not, you can't build your whole program on zone 2 cardio, but it is an absolutely irreplaceable part of the overall picture of your physical fitness, right? So don't skip the zone 2 cardio, right? Ready, go. 5 reps of our toe touch to overhead reach. These will be nice and gentle, just moving through that full range of motion, peak up on the toes, reach your fingertips as high as you can get them, and then go to an easy 3 minutes of warm-up pace cardio, and then we'll come back for a little complex on of hanging, right? So we'll start hanging from the bar. We're gonna do 10 kips, so that's forward, reverse, shoulder motion, and then in that dead hang position, I'm gonna raise one knee up, and I'm gonna do 5 reps of an internal, external hip rotation. So internal, and then external. I said that backwards. I was actually, okay, internal and now external. But I'm doing 5 reps on each leg. Try to get the knee, one knee is above parallel, above the hip as I'm doing those internal, external swivels. So I'm getting a lot of extra benefit there from just hanging, right? We're also working on the hip complex. And that is a consistent theme that you'll see in the programming, is working on the range of motion and the strength of those muscles that rotate the hip and stabilize the hip, just the same way that we use our like wall angels, band face pulls, the X pulls, those kinds of things to stabilize and strengthen the muscles in the shoulder and the muscles that rotate and stabilize the humerus, okay? All right, and then after we get done with that, we're gonna do slow seal to cat-cow, so nice and easy. Again, we're just trying to set the stage for today that we're not an explosive day where we're going super high intense. We're trying to stay a little easy today, but we're not stopping, right? There's a lot of times when I think about resting, we think about sitting on the couch watching TV doing absolutely nothing. But this type of movement, this type of workout is fantastic for your recovery, not just mentally, physically, right, but for everything, right? It's the whole package of recovery, and it will push you forward on your high intensity days more than sitting on the couch and doing nothing and avoiding low and slow. And it will be, a lot of times you're like, I'm gonna skip the low and slow, and I'm gonna come in and do some like snatch cycling or some like box jumps and burpees and sprints instead, right? That is not a good substitution for low and slow, and I want to start getting more people to make that connection that more is not always better. Better results is better, and what we believe through doing this for a while is that injecting one day out of the week where we are going low and slow will improve the other high days more than another grind or another sprint or another AMRAP, okay? All right, so then next thing you'll do is go immediately to 10 minutes of your choice zone 2 cardio. I would like for you to stick with the same element for 10 full minutes, even if it is sitting on the rower at a moderate pace. Should be conversational, should be in that 120 to 140 heart rate, but we should not stop, right? It should not ever get to the point where you feel like you're so out of breath that you have to like pause rowing, right? And a lot of times on the rower or on the bike, it's like just contact pain with your butt that is like what causes you to have to stop. So make sure you're relatively comfortable when you do this. Jogging can oftentimes push you out of zone 2 on the high end. If you can't jog and maintain zone 2 cardio, then pick one of the other ones. If you need to do like some type of reduction to like a power walk or even like a speed walk or something, jogging can be very minimal, right? It could be like just this fast. But if it causes you to jump up out of that 140 heart rate, then make sure you slow it down appropriately. Then the second 15 minutes, so this would be like 10 to 25, we'll be doing a zone 2 AMRAP, right? So which means I want you to move slow, but I want you to continue going with these alternate exercises. It's gonna be, start with 8 push-ups. So try to go chin and chest all the way to the ground and arms all the way straight. And they can be this fast, right? Use whatever assistance you need to, and then pop up to do some squats. So 16 reps of an air squat. Next, we're gonna do some kettlebell work. So 1 rep of a Turkish get up on each side. And we have plenty of time today, so I can go over this technique with you. But we're essentially sitting up with the one hand pushed straight to the ceiling, pulling the extended leg through into a lunge position, pivoting up into a standing position right here, and then I'll go back down exactly the same way I came up. When you finish those, then we're gonna do 8 reps on each side of a kettlebell hang clean. When you finish 8 kettlebell hang cleans on each side, 6 reps of a kettlebell shoulders to overhead, and then we're kind of climbing back down the ladder with 16 more air squats, and then finishing with 8 ring rows, which will take us back to our 8 push-ups to start off the AMRAP with. And you'll just repeat that cycle, trying to maintain that same 120 to 140 heart rate for the entire 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes has completed, we'll say 3, 2, 1, switch, and you'll go back to cardio for the final 10 minutes. You can choose a different one, you could choose the same one, but again, try to pick the same, or try to stay at the same station for the full 10 minutes, but it's totally fine if it's different than what your first 10-minute station was. That is it for our zone 2 low and slow workout today. Hope you guys had a great one, and I'll see you for a little bit more fun tomorrow.